Good day, my name is Maxime Dehaut. I'm the tech lead at Codit Luxembourg, and today I'm going to talk to you about security in artificial intelligence and machine learning. So let's assume you have an AI ML strategy in place in your organization. Behind that strategy, you most likely have some kind of business knowledge or your own business know-how. And you will probably expose that business know-how to the public world, which means that if you expose that, you are subject to attacks. And these attacks will effectively try to bias your model. So ultimately, if they manage to bias your model, they bias your final decision, which will have an impact on your final decision towards your customers. So there are different sorts of attacks, and they can be summarized into three domains. The first domain is timing. So basically, when happened the attack? So is it during the training, testing, validation period, so before production, or is it after the production, so once the model is deployed and executed publicly? So that's the very first domain. The second domain is goal. So the question here is why someone is attacking my system? What is his purpose? And the most obvious reason is to penalize your model, so to alter the performance of your model. And then the third domain is the information. So this is where a bit more technical, but this is where the person who is attacking you is trying to gather detailed information about the model itself. Why? Because if he knows the technology behind, then, and that brings me back to the goal, then he can target a much more precise attack against your system. So it's a bit like the previous question. So we could spend the entire day covering this. Now, very briefly, the data poisoning, to address that, there is a concept called the context drift that could be easily implemented and can address part of the data poisoning. The other option is in terms of the machine learning model you use, or maybe the algorithm you use. There is several publications that have been done on explainability and interpretability, and that helps to build a trust in your model, which is a big thing when you work in AI and machine learning. And then the last thing is maybe more to address the regulation part, and that's the introduction of blockchain. That gives you a very in-depth trust, but also audit, and particularly audit trail on what has been done on the model. There are still 75% roughly of the organizations who do not have a security strategy applicable to AI, machine learning, other than infrastructure related, in place in their organization. That's a big number. I think we would agree with that.